And I'd forgotten to mention pitch and tone. So the pitch is like, you can be very high pitched or you can be very low pitched. But the tone has more of an emotional aspect to it. So the tone can be harsh, can be jovial, could be beguiling, flirtatious, it could be welcoming, a welcoming high-pitched tone, oh, do come in. Or it could be very low, seductive tone. It could be an unsure tone, a nervous tone of voice, of course. So tone is emotion. Tone reflects emotion, and the pitch can also reflect emotion in a sense, because if you're very high pitched, normally you're very nervous and excitable, and if you're very low pitched, that can sound a bit more, well, it could be confident, seductive even. It could even be quite sinister if somebody's got quite a low pitched voice. If you think of some very, very effective villains, I'm sure a lot of them have very low voices. Low voices lend gravitas. So when we think about a character like Mrs. Joe, I think she'd have a very shrill, high-pitched voice, and the tone would be very harsh, very, what's the word? She literally whips Pip with Tickler, and her voice does that too. It's very abrasive and belittling. She belittles him, and she's very aggressive, but Estella's tone is also very belittling towards Pip. Now, Miss Havisham's tone would be angry, bitter, very disturbing. And she talks about enjoying seeing children play and saying to Estella in one of the best lines of all, well, you can break his heart. Yes. So, don't forget pitch and tone. What else? Volume. That, I think, is enough to add to the previous video on vocals. Perhaps going back to Miss Havisham quickly there, I didn't quite finish that. Perhaps the tone in which she describes having sick fancies and saying to Estella that she can break Pip's heart, that is very sinister, unsettling, disconcerting. Perhaps we could say.